Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the third map now here at the Grand Finals, and I'm with Threat. Still, I mean, this has been quite an adventure already. First map really close, second map on the surface really one-sided, but Na'Vi kind of making it a bit of a fight at the end. Now we're going to go to Na'Vi's map pick on Overpass, and everyone seems to agree that they have a good chance of taking this.
Yeah, I would say they are the stronger team on Overpass, but seeing how close Cobblestone were, and it's actually one of Na'Vi's stronger maps in the pool, so I was actually surprised that map went to 16-14 to the very end. So if EnVyUs can bring the same type of play to this match, might actually be really close.
I look forward to seeing it, definitely. So many things that, in my opinion, have still gone undiscovered on this map. I don't know if any of them, I mean, this is the problem now. Both these teams have been so active going to events that it's really hard for them to spend time coming up with new things. But it's still going to be a question of who's done the best preparation for it here. And I think Na'Vi might have a bit of an edge in that sense. I think they just know the map a little bit better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're going to have the stronger B executes, probably going to have the stronger A executes as well. Probably going to see a lot of default round SG from both teams where you try to gain control towards A and then just abuse the connector to run back and forth between the sides. I'm going to go live with the knife round here. Very important knife round. You really want to start CT on Overpass.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit helpful if you can manage to do that. And if you are just joining us, just to quickly recap what's been going on so far is Cobblestone going in favor of Na'Vi, only barely, and then Dust 2 going in favor of EnVy, looking quite strong on that map. And now we're on the third map here. It's a best-of-5 Grand Finals, so whoever wins this, we're still definitely going to get a fourth map. Kiyoshima, one stab per player, and he's good to go.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 situation. Oh, now it's a 100% win for EnVyUs.
Good job there. And they are predictably going to be starting off on the CT side, leaving Na'Vi on the terrorist side. So no big surprise there. Pistol rounds on this map, how do you like to see them played, slowly or a bit quicker?
I like to play quick towards the B side, because a lot of sieges nowadays usually stack the toilets. And the thought behind that is you either gonna flank B through connector, or they're just gonna run into your stack. So wouldn't be surprised if EnVyUs puts a lot of player into toilets. It's either that or just playing very defensive. That's like good CT pistols.
We're gonna find out which way it's gonna tilt this time. EnVy going for armor on 3 on 4, and then a single Molotov on Kiyoshima. And on Na'Vi's side, they do have a smoke and a flashbang and an HE grenade, but otherwise it's all armor all the way. It's very curious here how this is going to turn out. Well, it's going to be a quick trade early on. Seized and MBK gone down. Very quick round. Oh, there's a lot of trouble in the connector here. Happy, the only one in there. He's going to need backup, and it's coming, but it's going to be too late. And now when they open the door, there's going to be terrorists waiting for them on the other side. Bit of miscommunication maybe there between the EnVy members. I'm not sure if they realized that Happy was still in there, but they definitely should have. Shock's now playing on the bomb site here. He's going to go for the fight against Guardian, but he drops Edward coming in for the backup, and this is a great start for Na'Vi. Looking real good now. Kiyoshima hoping for one of those magical USPS 1 clicks, but it's not going to happen. And with the bomb down and with no kit picked up and no armor on Kiyoshima, this is a disaster for the EnVy team. Na'Vi with an overwhelming chance of taking this round as long as they play it just a little bit smartly. Kiyoshima going down as well. Smith's here. Oh, he's going to get overrun. And Edward will drop him. Very cool round.
The biggest mistake from EnVyUs in that round was when they showed both players in sewers to Na'Vi. If Na'Vi knows that there's 2 players in sewers, it means there can only be 1 guy on A, and the 2 guys in sewers has a very long route to run to the A side. So Na'Vi just abused that fact, ran to the A side, and the round was over after that.
Yeah, there's a lot of shocks he can do. I mean, if it was a normal round, maybe he could have tried to buy time with flashes and smokes and Molotovs, but it's a pistol round. You know, he would have to have killed Guardian very quickly, and then maybe he could have bought a little bit of time, but you're right. Basic arithmetic coming out of Na'Vi there, and just doing the calculation quickly. It's going to be Guardian taking down Smiths. Now MBK looking for an opening on somebody with that deagle, but it's not going to be this time. So now we've down to 2 pistols on the EnVy side, and Na'Vi actually for once looking like they're going to get a clean anti-eco here.
Yeah, the EnVyUs player is just looking for some kills here. It should be very tough if Na'Vi plays this correctly, especially considering Shox is down in the bank and they should not push here. Guardian is still opting to push down the bank here.
Going to be sneaking up with Galil. They really don't want anyone escaping, do they? Shox is playing right underneath them. It's going to end up going down, and we're left for Kiyoshima. Hiding in that B-bomb side behind the pillar. If they keep coming, he's going to have a hard time escaping, and I think they spotted him now. A lot of shouting in the background. Some Na'Vi war cries coming out, I think. Kiyoshima will get a kill on Edward at least. And you can hear that cheer in the background. 2-0.
And only one kill with a full force by there from EnVyUs, so not looking good at all for them. Now they will go for an anti-eco round once again here because they know that EnVyUs will go for the full eco. EnVyUs should go for a stack here because there's not much they can do. Yeah, 5 people towards the A side.
Yeah, a bit of a a coin flip, but maybe it's going to work out better certainly than trying to split up all your forces and hope to win single engagements. That's going to be really hard. Pistol and no armor. Flamey here taking an early fight, but is returned by Smiths, so not too bad at all. Edward now going to be pushing up here. Has to check the corner, and he will. Also, Kiyoshima goes down, and it's going to be up to the last 2 players here, and now just Happy left. Oh, trying to reload right in front. The Guardian is there to save the day.
3-0 now. 2 kills, though, from EnVyUs, actually making it a more successful eco round, even though they didn't buy anything. Happy with that glass cannon op. And the question is, will he be aggressive long? Will he play aggressive there towards party, or will he just play B and challenge through monster?
Happy, generally speaking, doesn't seem to me like the most passive player, so I would actually be surprised if they've managed to put a leash on him, but he does actually hold very far back at the moment, so maybe not. Maybe a result of the fact that he doesn't have armor. It's a bit tricky pushing too much. But
Shock's going down to 25 HP early in this round.
Yeah, and you're right. And he's holding down on that B-bomb site. So I'm wondering, did they... No. How did he go down to 25?
He might have challenged monster and got tagged from the guy standing towards the C-spawn.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at that part. It probably sounds like the most plausible thing. I was wondering if they tried to boost up, but there's not even anyone down there, so obviously no boost happening. Guardian tries to make the jump here. Happy with a tricky angle. Good angle just to spot if anyone is coming. Probably not a good angle to get kills as anyone jumping by, but still, nice idea. Guardian here, probably going to be smoking off more or less exactly where Happy's holding, so he's going to be annoyed while Flamey is making his way forward. And at 35 seconds, very typical Na'Vi timing here, they're going to go for it. Pushing into the side. Bomb is making its way up as well by the restrooms, and Flamey trying to open up, but MBK will stop it. He goes down to Edward, and now Guardian up on the box, and I love this play. This is so effective because you can look over the smoke, and the CTs almost have no way of knowing it, and he's going to look for the kill here. Smith's very nearly gone down to it. And a 4v4. The retake is on here for the French team, but they line up for Zeus. He gets 1, he gets 2, he sprays, he gets a triple kill, and it's going to be down to Kiyoshima now. Almost no chance. Zeus with a quad kill, and he wrecks Envy in the 4th round. And that is a huge impact here for the Ukrainian captain. And wonderful style.
Amazing play from Na'Vi, both individually there by Zeus and also tactically with that execute, just punishing EnVyUs for playing so defensive. And I love the fact that they didn't only use the smokes, they actually molotoved off the most annoying positions there from the CTs.
So much going right for Na'Vi here early on. Envy's response is to go for a quad deagle setup. Only Kiyoshima deciding for the 5-7. Combo breaker. NBK hoping for a single headshot. And he almost took down Flamey. And next in line coming up from Connector, Smiths with a chance on Edward, but only one chance. And he's going to be gone as well. Happy playing over towards long, and they're going to be really close here. I mean, it's a good position with the deagle, because if you don't hit a headshot at this range, you can just keep spamming and kill someone anyway.
Yeah, the deagle is kind of a mixture of a scout and a shotgun in that matter, because you can use it as a shotgun in close combat and just tag people at long range.
Oh, Guardian going to check the corner as well. Does spot out Happy, and we'll go for the fight, and Happy will win it. Inside this bomb site, Shox is holding. He takes 1 and goes for a little bit more sprays coming through. Surely he's going to go down. Just took a while. Edward with the triple kill. That could have been a very expensive round for Na'Vi.
Yeah, 5-0 though for Na'Vi, and Guardian with that up. A lot of nades on all the players. EnVyUs is looking to close this down now. This is almost like the first full buy, because the last one did have that glass cannon. They didn't have all the nades they need. And with 3 people going aggressive here on A.
Yeah, they're going to run right into a grenade, though, and there's a follow-up shot from Guardian, and Smith has gone down. Next in line, Edward going to be close range. Flashed or not flashed, he's going to take out MBK, and it will be a 5v3 here. Happy, Shocks, and Kiyoshima remaining, and trying to see if they can fall back into a slightly more defensive position. But how do you fight your way out of this threat? I mean, how can you force your way back into this round?
You basically have to stack a site and just hope that they will push there and save the weapons if they go the other side. Not much else you can do. Maybe you can go for some crazy peaks with the op, but it's very difficult, especially because Na'Vi knows that EnVyUs is in a very big disadvantage now.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of the time here. They want to make sure that if they do go for those crazy peaks like you were talking about, then they're set up for it. And obviously, once the clock is down to around the 30, maybe even 20-second mark, then they're going to commit to a bomb site. Shocks playing a little bit close here, and Zeus is going to be putting up a smoke. Landing on top and right by the truck there. Happy also going to get smoked off. Very annoying. Shocks with an important kill, but he does turn around, and Zeus will drop him. And Happy's on 8 health, so he kind of has to walk away here, otherwise he's just going to lose this rifle shortly. And Flamey will take him out. Kiyoshima, last man alive, but only for a second as Guardian takes him out. It will be 6-0. And this seems like the beginning of a landslide that Envy just cannot stop.
Yeah, 6-0 for Na'Vi. And the way EnVyUs is playing right now, the first weapon round they played super defensive right away. This round they went super aggressive. They should play something in between, where you try to take some picks early from toilets or either long, then fall back whilst Na'Vi are forced to flash you back all the time, and then you can play defensive. It seems like they're either going super aggressive or super defensive.
We do have the 5 Deagle set up this time from Envy. They identified the mistake threat earlier and saying the reason we won, definitely the 157 in that lineup. When we have the Deagles all around, it's going to be great. Edward, though, he just doesn't care, does he? Not impressed by the Penta Deagle setup. MBK will take him out finally, and it's going to be a 3v4 here. I mean, they almost won that last round with the 4 Deagles, so maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, if Shocks gets... He has to get 2 kills here for them to make something happen.
Well, MBK close enough to do it. Flamey, a little bit weary. Kiyoshima is actually very good with the Deagle. We've seen a couple of already ridiculous kills from him. Flamey going to be pushing up, takes down MBK. Pretty good job there. And Shocks trying to stay alive and hiding while Kiyoshima comes in for it. He's going to take the 1 kill, but they've got so many grenades, Na'Vi. I'm not sure why they aren't just trying to use those to pick them apart here. And last man is Kiyoshima in a 1v3. Goes down to Seized. And it's 7-0 here.
Let's see what EnVyUs decides to do. They haven't tried the basic play, which I was talking about earlier, where you go kind of aggressive, go for some easy picks towards that A side, and then you fall back.
I mean, I have to point out right now that Edward has more kills than the entire Envy team combined 7 rounds into the game. That really doesn't happen too often.
No, and Edward has been stepping up greatly lately. He's been playing super good at this tournament.
Zeus going to be putting a couple of shots through there, but won't be taking out anybody in that smoke. And let's see, Na'Vi with a bit more presence on the B side of the map than they've had earlier. Usually they just had the 1 guy holding down there. This time there is 2 to begin with. Seized loves playing here because he does the Molotov over and then the spam through the wall. It's just his standard setup.
A very slow play here from Na'Vi. This is a more default setup, as you said, from EnVyUs. And it might, well, work out here.
Oh, almost catching Guardian there. He drops a bit low, but he's got a bodyguard in Zeus. 25 health here for the Slovakian player. Edward going to be moving, or waiting now actually for NBK. He ducks down. Do they see each other? I don't think NBK saw that. Now he realizes, but it's too late. Edward is just playing so consistently right now. No panic, it's just headshots. Kiyoshima's going to take down Seized, though. They did also lose Guardian He said, we're going to peek this corner. Pop flash in, Happy's down, and look at Edward. Perfect teamwork here coming out. Very nice setup, and that's going to give them a huge advantage here. Just on the brink of taking an 8th round is what they are. Kiyoshima is on 9 health and 1 single HE grenade, and Edward actually has one, but it's going to be Flamey to take the shot. And Shock's now coming in a 1v2. 4 seconds. They've got to plant this bomb, and Edward's going to be in charge of doing that. He does put it down, and Shocks is pushing up. Edward sees it. He goes down. Shocks, what a great clutch here. In a 1v2 at the end, he makes it work. Wants to find the Norb somewhere, but I don't think he can, so it's a triple kill, and it gives EnVy the first round.
Amazing 1v3 there from Shocks. The problem for EnVyUs now is if they lose this round, they will be back to no money at all. Their money will be reset, and you can hear the crowd. They know this could be the nail in the coffin if Na'Vi wins this round now.
And the money for Na'Vi, I think Guardian started this round on 16,000, so that's just devastating for EnVy. You're right, they have to win this next round, and all the rounds to come, basically. They need 7 rounds in a row here to have a good shot at doing this. Su's going to be pushing up, and somehow Kiyoshima burned alive. That was seized with that spray. It actually worked. That's unreal. And Flamey's going to be taking down MBK. And this is kind of almost a knockout punch to EnVy. I can't imagine anything worse than starting a round like that for Kiyoshima.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams have gotten damaged by that spray through the wall and throwing that Molo. But getting a kill, I never think I've seen that before.
No, but he probably got tagged and slowed down, and if one of them is a headshot, the follow-up tick from the Molotov is going to drop him. I wish we could have seen that on the camera. That would have been hilarious, but now it's a 4v3. At least there's a return kill coming in from Shocks, which is very, very important. Smith's going to go down, trying to get the information about what's happening outside of Monster there, but not going to be successful. And now Shocks, lone man, playing the L-bend. Sees the setting up for a smoke or a flash there, going to pop right in, and Shocks goes down. Not because he was flashed, but just because Seas was a little bit too quick on the trigger there. And now Happy covering the sniper spot, but they have time to rotate back here. So what could he really do at this point?
Yeah, there's nothing he can do. He's just going to try to save this weapon now.
But I think maybe even Zeus heard that. So he's not even going to let him get away. He wants to chase him, coming right for it. Very smart play from Zeus.
And 8-1 ST on overpass. They have no money at all. They're going to be forced to at least 1 eco. Na'Vi looking to go at least to double digits on this T half.
I mean, this is a bit of a soul-destroying first half here for Na'Vi. This is going to be so hard to come back from if you're on the EnVy team.
Yeah, it's almost like this game is, or this map is already over. And they're going to push up to the B side here. Shouldn't be anything EnVyUs can do since they're only on pistols.
Well, Flamey will open up with a good kill there, taking down Shocks, and you're right, with pistols and nothing else, it's really not looking too hot at the moment. It's a 3v5 at the moment. MBK, Smiths, and Happy are left, and Flamey, he wants a little bit more. I mean, they are playing fairly aggressively right now. Na'Vi, they're feeling so confident. They don't even want to play this safe and put the bomb down and wait around. All that stuff is in the past for them. They're
just trying to crush EnVyUs confidence right now, and that might be a good thing to do considering there's more maps to play. And oh my god, will it?
Oh, MBK, there's the stab. How did he miss it the first time around? That is ridiculous. Zeus is going to get the refrag, but...
And I'm going to call it. If they wouldn't have changed the knife sound, I think the terrorists would have turned around there.
Maybe that was the difference. He just thought, I don't know what that is. Doesn't sound at all like a knife.
9-1 and a deagle on Kiyoshima, a FAMAS on Smiths. This is not looking good for EnVyUs.
Guardian pushing in very quickly, going to be opening up towards the barrels where there is a guy holding. I think that's Shocks up there. He goes down, and there's Kiyoshima to follow. Na'Vi are simply wrecking EnVy on this map. I've never seen anything quite as dominating on the T side of overpass here. They're being completely ripped apart.
Yeah, and when you get to the level where you can walk out to B and get 3 entry kills in a matter of 2 seconds, you know you're in a good position, because EnVyUs' strength is to use their individual skill, and they're not even close to being able to out-aim Na'Vi on this map now.
No, they're in the zone, Na'Vi. They're feeling it so badly. And they can even afford to give up a couple of kills here to chase Happy down, because they know it's going to impact him so much more to lose that rifle than it will Na'Vi. Again, 16,000 on Guardian. And almost the same on Edward. I think he bought a grenade or something. So yeah, they've got quite the trust fund going on here.
EnVyUs forced yet another eco and already double digits here for Na'Vi. Na'Vi just gonna look to go for that fast B push again, and only 2 players here from EnVyUs. Should be a fast round here for Na'Vi.
Complete and utter dominance as Envy make their way into that B bomb site. And there's no stopping power at all left here on the French team. This might be a very, very quick third map right into the 4th one, which I believe is Inferno.
Yeah, it's going to be EnVyUs pick next map, and maybe this is the momentum they managed to build in the end of Dust 2. I wonder if they would have been able to get 10-1 as Tion overpass if they would have just lost at the last map in the 6-2.
I mean, it's that kind of thing where there's almost no way for us to test it, but I definitely sort of want to follow that line of thinking as well, that it could have been a bit different. It could have been the Na'Vi would have been just a little bit less hot. And obviously, yeah, too hot to handle for Envy. Going to be the end of the round here. 11-1 moving into the 13th round. The crowd is cheering Na'Vi. You can hear them in the background. They are absolutely fired up.
11-1, and Shocks with that glass cannon up. We're probably going to see some desperation play here from EnVyUs. 2 people going aggressive long, 4 people going aggressive A here, just leaving that B side completely open.
MBK and Kiyoshima pushing up long. I do like this idea. If you're 2 people here, this can definitely work out. And Kiyoshima, well, actually MBK going to get their first kill. And a second headshot on Guardian. Finally, something is working for Envy. And Kiyoshima will follow up, and they're shutting down Na'Vi. This is the kind of round that they needed in the 4th round, not in the 13th. But still, I suppose it's better late than never. Seized goes down, and it is a flawless round. NBK with a quad kill and a solid defense. But it is hard to get too excited right now because you know they're so far behind. And Smith has got 1 kill. He was a beast on Dust 2.
Yeah, look at this. They only got the plant 1 round, so they have just run after the Sieges and just kill them every single round.
They've survived every round with 3 members or more alive as well. That almost never happens. You're almost always going to be down to at least a couple of clutches on your T side, so pushing in, flashing through. It's going to be Smith holding in the corner, and Na'Vi are making their way forward. Edward going to just jump in like a crazy person. This is also Na'Vi just doing whatever they feel like here. And Smith will eventually go down. Assist from Edward there. And they continue to push forward. You know what other team played like this in this tournament already? Envy, when they were playing G-Play in the semifinals, they kind of did something similar, like just running up. You see Edward sort of just almost walking in with his knife out and just saying, I'm just going to take the peek and I don't really care. They feel probably untouchable at this point, Na'Vi. Guardian and Zeus are going to be left 2v3. A good chance for Envy to pick up a 3rd round here.
Even though EnVyUs, even if they take 2 rounds here, it doesn't really matter.
No, good grenade from Happy though, very nicely done. That actually bounced right where Guardian was. Impressive game sense. And Kiyoshima's going to be able to take out Zeus, but you're right, 11-4, it's not even close to the mark.
You're looking to go to double digits as CT. If you get 9 rounds, that's okay. If you get a lead with only 8-7, that's actually looking kind of hard then when going to the T side. Being down at the best 4-11 and then going to the T side, that's unheard of making a comeback from.
Well, double AWP currently picked up from Na'Vi. Edward, you were sort of looking at him wondering whether they're going to go for it again, but not going to happen. Happy and Shocks also have 2, well, an AWP each here. Can't really carry 2 AWPs at the same time. Once again, C is going to go for the Molotov into the L-bend, and Guardian trying to check if anyone is going to come and look in through Monster.
3 people on B here for an EnVyUs. Will probably go for a peek here. Decides not to go aggressive Sewers instead. And we can see the desperation here from EnVyUs. They're just stacking the sites. They know they can't defend with the proper setup, so they just have to take the risk and stack the sites.
Oh well, You gotta hope for their sake that it's gonna work out. Maybe they could do what Na'Vi did on Dust 2, and if not win the map, then at least just bring it back a little bit. You know, try and slow down this this black and yellow train. Zeus walking in, and Smiths actually will get that kill on him, so very good job. And Edward not really dishing out too much damage either. Now the smokes are going to be raining into the bomb site, and Na'Vi still slowed down by the defensive smokes put up by Envy here. Edward going to be dropped by Smiths, and Kiyoshima also playing on site, so the stack might actually work out for them this time. It's looking at least a little bit better, although they are in a 4v4 still. It's going to be Flamey walking into the site. Kiyoshima and Shox picking up 2 kills. Flamey with the 1 return. And 25 seconds here. They're in a 2v3. Flamey going down to NBK, and Shox going to finish the half here with a kill on Edward. 4-11.
EnVyUs did manage to get 3 rounds in a row there in the end when they went for 2 4-man stacks on A. Both those rounds Na'Vi went to A, and the last round there, 4 people on B, Na'Vi went to B. And if you look at EnVyUs lineup and you'd say, oh, they're playing a team that they have to play so risky against that they have to stack the sides because they can't play default versus them as CT and overpass because they're just getting outplayed, then you know how well Na'Vi is playing right now.
Is that almost kind of like a mental surrender? Like, what does that do to the team if you just kind of have to, like, you know, give up on everything you've been practicing for and just saying, okay, well, fine, we'll just have to do whatever? I mean, that almost tastes of matchmaking, where you just say, well, let's just all go to the bomb site.
Yeah, it's EnVyUs saying, you are better than us right now. We have to take risks to be able to win.
Oh, well, Na'Vi, on the other hand, in a very comfortable position, and if they win this pistol, it's going to be over quick. If they don't, we'll give Envy the benefit of the doubt and see if they can pull a ridiculous comeback. Edward almost getting a headshot mid-air. He will take down Smiths. He should be going down here, but somehow he's still alive and doing damage. He's going to get a headshot, and another one takes down MBK. What an unreal situation. And it's going to be Guardian taking down Kiyoshima now. Happy, the last man standing. Edward, he should have been dead long ago, and instead he converts that into a triple. And Happy, the last man. More evidence that Envy have just lost all control in this overpass map.
Yeah, what can happen do in this situation? Might be able to get 1 frag. Won't matter a bit. Probably going to go down here to Guardian.
Edward instead with a quad kill. The Pistol Master has returned. Threat. You actually had a chance to taste a bit of Edward in 1.6. I mean, we can't really compare game to game necessarily, but just you know, a gut feeling here. How far is he off of his 1.6 form?
Playing like this, as he's done this tournament, he's almost there, to be honest. So great to see this form from Edward, and interesting, it was actually in this venue when he did that pistol round.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You had a look of horror as you were reliving that moment. We're right next to that old stage as well. So yeah, I don't want to bring that up. This is a happy time.
Yeah, thank you, Anders.
Someone link that somewhere so people who haven't seen that clip know what we're talking about. We're gonna put up a preemptive smoke there, and Envy is trying to get into the bomb site. They do have armor. C's playing close range. He's gonna go with the kill, but then goes down. Great double from MBK as a return, and Edward trying to fight to stay alive and actually wins that fight versus Happy, even though he just has the USPS. That drops the bomb in the back here, and now NBK will be alone. And this is definitely going to be a 13th round. NBK doesn't stand a chance. Zeus will take him out, and it's going to be 13-4 here. I actually really like what Envy did here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that gave them a decent chance.
Yeah, they have to force by every round now. They have to force Na'Vi to an eco. They can't go for a full eco. They're actually going for a full eco, which means not only are they giving Na'Vi 14 rounds, they're also going to make them be able to bank up some money.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's almost like there's no right or wrong answer here, because either way you play it, you're going to be in a very bad situation. But you're right. At 14-4, Na'Vi are just so far ahead. It's not even funny. Maybe if you forced up and won, you could start to build something back there, but
yeah, Na'Vi's just going to play the side here. They know they're only on pistols. Have a lot of flashes as well, so as soon as the push come in, they will just counter flash and delay them.
Seized. We'll be dropping down NBK. And they have no reason to play it any differently right now, Na'Vi. They know that EnVy have to come up at some point and try and make a play. Smiths will land a good headshot with the Deagle. But that's going to drop the bomb inside the bomb site here when Shox goes down. And in a 4v3 with the time running out. EnVy being forced to commit here. And they just do not have the equipment for it. It's going to be Flamey with a good double kill. And Kiyoshima last to go down here. 14-4. I don't even know what kind of magic you're going to have to work if you're EnVy right now.
Even if EnVy strings 5 rounds together, they're still down 14-9 as T on overpass. So this needs something else from EnVyUs.
Yeah, and the downside is they're seconds away from losing the third map in a best of 5. The upside is that they have a chance to make a bit of history here if they do make the comeback. That's going to be a match that no one will ever forget. Na'Vi pushing aggressively here into the fire, and Zeus is going to end up going down there. Kiyoshima with a nicely placed Molotov, and Na'Vi maybe being a bit too aggressive at that point in time. So, good start, even though Smiths is also on 1 health. And Edward holding in the site. Pretty good angle right now. Also easy to dodge those flashes, so I actually love that. Flamey is actually going to be the one to steal those kills, and now Edward goes down. Kiyoshima picking up the 1 kill, Smiths with the other one. Guardian has an HE grenade. Smiths, oh no, Smiths, he's gone! Grenade was a touchdown, and now Happy last man alone. And he's fighting in a 1v2 with an AK, but no grenades. Having the guy on 1 health planting is not always the wisest idea. Sometimes it can backfire quite badly. Happy with a good click there, but Guardian takes him out. Nice setup for Na'Vi. 15-4. And it's going to be a map point here, obviously.
The problem for EnVyUs here is if they just lose this match, or this map right here, they won't be able to gain the momentum Na'Vi gained from the last map on Dust 2. As we talked about earlier, even though it's probably impossible for them to win this map, just gaining a few rounds here and then might actually help them coming into the next map, which is Inferno.
It certainly seemed to work for Na'Vi, so EnVy probably going to want to try and replicate that. Flamey taking out Smiths, and I do believe Edward is at 24 kills at the moment in 20 rounds.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
This guy is an absolute beast. And earlier we actually brought this up in the pre-show earlier. Usually he only plays, well, not only, but he plays even better on Inferno. But apparently Overpass is also a map that he can excel at. I mean, if Edward starts adding more and more maps to his own sort of personal map pool, be really scary for anyone trying to face Na'Vi. Seized to return on to MBK, and it's going to be a double kill here as Shox goes down. Happy, the last man left, 16-4, and Na'Vi going to run away with Overpass in a fashion that we've almost never seen before. What a performance here from the home team. Happy goes down, and the crowd are loving it.
16-4, and they started T on Overpass.
Look at that almost casual low 5 there from Zeus as well. Just, you know, they're quietly satisfied with what they just accomplished. That means if they win 1 more map here in the Grand Finals, they're going to take out EnVy in the best of 5.
Yeah, they're going to play EnVyUs map now. So
yeah,
if this pattern continues, EnVyUs will win this map because they have just kept winning their own maps.
Yeah,
First
true.
we saw Na'Vi winning Cobblestone, their pick. Then Dust 2 was EnVyUs pick, EnVyUs won that one, and now back to Na'Vi's pick, Overpass, Na'Vi winning. So,
and to be fair, Inferno is a map that EnVy are really good at. Although I actually think Na'Vi are too, but EnVy might be just a step above here. So there's a decent chance we could see all 5 maps.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, though, if Edward plays this well on Overpass, how well will he play on Inferno?
That is a scary thought. I don't even want to think about that, especially not if I'm EnVy. What an absolute monster, and what a real pleasure to see Edward return to that kind of level. It's been such a long time coming. Now we just need the other ex-Na'Vi member, which is Markolov out there somewhere, to return. That would be good. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to switch it on over to the analyst desk if they're ready. So take it away on the analyst desk.
talked about if EnVyUs got a large start, that it would be Na'Vi that had to respond immediately and make a case for the game. Never mind all that. Na'Vi, they're the ones with the start, and EnVy looked completely flat on that particular match.
Yeah, and what we talked about, whether or not Na'Vi would be allowed to set up for those A strats and those A executes, if that was ever going to happen, because we were expecting EnVyUs to play way more aggressive than what they were doing, and they just got completely stomped. It got so bad at a point that they started stacking 3 people towards A, and it didn't take long before Na'Vi figured that out, and Zeus made the call that we're going to, change our focus towards the B bomb site, and they just kept gaining round after round after round, and only at the very end of the first half, that's when EnVyUs actually started to play aggressively, and all of a sudden they started picking up rounds.
That's right. It was like, I think it was their second round, it was round 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
They finally started to get 2 out toward the rocks at long.
One of the weird things actually is that, I said at the start, I felt like, okay, it would probably be to start around toilets, because usually you would expect them not to give it up so easily.
Yeah.
And there's not, I think you brought up the point, pretty much only TSM are able to pull off the style which they were trying to do properly. And the thing is about the whole A thing, as for the CTs, is you give up so much ground not doing that, and so you have to have insanely good site defenses and good ways to handle the executes, because the Ts always get so many edges. Can I take this duel? Can I take this aim duel? Can I take this coordinated attack? We can refrag here, get a couple of kills. Then all of a sudden they have 3 players. Now we have connected control. We can go here. We can go there. There's so many options and edges to gain from doing it that you're giving all of that to a team like Na'Vi. It's got Starks, it's got Zeus, it's got great leadership, great intuition. That's asking for problems, really, unless you really know how to play that defensive style. But it didn't seem like they did.
Yeah, and that was so weird for me to watch, because all Na'Vi wanted to do, really, they want to get those 2 guys that they play up at long for that set execute to clear out that one corner around the card, because that's pretty much the only spot they can interfere with the bomb plant from. And they were allowing Na'Vi to do that every single round, and from that point on, as soon as Na'Vi get the bomb down, they can just bail completely on that bomb site.
I've been sitting on this one for a while, but you know what the moral of the story is?
What?
If you don't control toilets, your CT side goes to shit.
That's deep.
It's deep.
That's really deep.
But it's true.
It's very true. And EnVy being evidence of that.
Dan does not approve. This is like the James.
I'm done,
look.
guys. I'm done. I'm done, guys.
James made a funny no. Dan doesn't approve.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, they didn't take the fight we thought they would. That was how you have to slow down Na'Vi, who's so intense on that A site.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to, I think, Edward especially, because he had a great game. He was just all over the place. And when you think that EnVy might be able to get off to a good start on that second half, Edward somehow survives for about 5 years longer than he should and ends up picking up 4 kills in the end.
So I have a little analogy.
The poker analogy.
Okay, so I came up with
As
this
if mine wasn't bad enough
terrible
already.
poker analogy. It kind of works, but anyway. So Overpass is kind of like this in a way. Usually the top teams, what they'll try to do is they'll try to go for the play up A, because it's kind of like, you play the flop, okay, you see what happens on the flop with your cards, okay, you're going to keep playing, I want to see the turn now, I want to see the river, so you keep getting options to have more decisions, more things available for you to decide and create opportunities for yourself, how you can play the situation. But teams will usually only go to the B play or the B execute, either of course if it's particularly relevant because they think it can throw off or the buy or a Snatiko or something like that. But if it's buy against buy, then it's because basically they want to just go in blind. So it's like it's just shoving pre-flop basically. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because you don't know what you're in for. You're giving up your edges, your natural edges as the T side by doing that. Sometimes it can work, and sometimes if you've got good execute, it's obviously worth it. But your bread and butter has to be that A side. So it's really weird that they gave it up, because having free roam there was pretty impressively decisive for Na'Vi. Like you would expect EnVyUs to actually be able to do something with that passive style, but they couldn't get it done. I'm not even really sure why they struggle so much there.
Yeah, no, and I guess what EnVy did would be, going all in with everything out with a 4 and a queen. Like that would be
I'm going to call both of your bluffs.
Uh-oh.
I think you're both bluffing. So that moves us forward with the first chance to steal the first person on championship point, Na'Vi. Now we move on to Inferno, and again, chance to steal. That's the big thing here, because everyone so far has won their map.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see as of a dominant performance from either side on Inferno. I don't think we're going to see a stomp like we saw on Dust 2 or Overpass going into Inferno, because both teams are too good on it to let the other one escape, pretty much. I think that's going to be the big thing. I'm going to harp on it till Na'Vi stop doing it. I hope they limit their aggression in Medana, because I think EnVy are going to be able to punish that with ease. And if they do that, they can get off to a really bad foot.
I want to see the aggression on Banana, actually, which is quite cool that we can disagree.
Yeah.
You're wrong, and I'm right. And we'll, but the thing is that I always like to see the aggression on Banana because it's so strong. It's so strong if you can pull it off.
Yeah,
but
if you can pull it off. But I think it's all about having knowing your limitations. So I'm all for the banana control play if you have, for instance, Guardian there with the op.
Yeah.
I'm all good with that. That works perfectly fine with me. Having Seized and Flamey run out half-heartedly and die repeatedly, that's not working for me. Sure, you can try it out once or twice, but if it doesn't work for you, just go back to playing with what's safe.
That's like kind of the cool thing about it, because you can kind of condition your opponents into what they expect to be there and how aggressive it's going to be. Like, and that's like the meta game's been shifting there a lot. I'm not even sure like where it's at right now, because it used to be very, very dominant to see this all the time, but teams have started to like fall back off of it a little bit, and so I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll see it at some point. So I'm curious to see how that interaction will actually happen. But obviously, it can give the CTs a good advantage. But then again, we start to see maybe this is the reason why it stopped happening so much. The counter strat is just to like do a really fast rush on A, because usually you want 3 players as the CTs for trades when the Ts want to like overwhelm A, because you put so many resources into it. So like you get this awesome back and forth. So I mean, yeah, it's hard to say if we're going to see that, because it's been a little bit out of fashion in recent matches. But I still see Na'Vi taking this regardless of however they play it.
Yeah, I kind of have to go with Na'Vi taking Inferno as well, because I expected the 4-1.
I think the biggest thing that is going to come under scrutiny as well is the use of utilities and resources for EnVyUs on their CT side, because we talk about how Na'Vi sit passively so far back and then execute so quickly. If they overuse the resources early in the round, it's going to leave so much space for Na'Vi to have when they go. So EnVy need to not be a little bit, I guess, antsy and not, jump the gun by, there's a guy in banana, we got to smoke it, because Na'Vi's not necessarily going to go right away. You have to time it. You have to figure out exactly when that moment is, and then use your utilities to slow them down, because usually they're so late in the round that if you can slow down that push, they're going to be really tight for time. Similar to the round we saw in Cobblestone, where they prevented the bomb plant, and then they lost it due to time running out. So I think EnVy's got to be really careful on how they use their resources, and whether or not, if they get the A player to throw a smoke over toward Banana to help the B players and get that control, aggression or not, it doesn't matter to me. It's just a matter of whether or not they have some idea what's going on and when it's going to happen.
It's actually a really good point, because again, modeling it after the best teams in the world, TSM, I think, are the best team in the world at doing this. Like, just saving. They somehow managed to not give up map control, but use the grenades at the last possible second. Like, at 40 seconds left, they still have like 3 or 4 smokes, which is absolutely nuts. But the other thing that I'm worried about regarding EnVyUs is one of the most important things about this map is economy management as CTs, and understanding how you weigh risk, how you play the plus EV, how you go plus EV basically on your resource situation. So that's what I'm worried about, because if they mismanage that, I'm hoping that because they've been burned by that quite severely by G-Play in day 1, that they're still reeling from that it won't happen. But that's another edge I think that could be brought in by Na'Vi, actually, if they mismanage their economy in that way.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, economy's been the big aspect to a lot of the teams this weekend in terms of, even you go to Flipside and Simple, not getting an op-out for him, it's not, that's a common theme in any game, in any situation. Again, Banana's going to be a big factor to this, and EnVy need to be very calculated, because if they get too aggressive, they'll pay the price, specifically on this map where it's so narrow and so easy to control the choke points. So that said, we'll head to a commercial break as always. When we come back, we'll head straight into the map. It's going to be Inferno, and it is the first championship point. Na'Vi have a chance to win at home, take the title back from the defending champions, which once was theirs. Of course, EnVyUs, they want to do everything they can to prevent that from happening and force us onto map 5 untrained. Again, we'll be right back.